Hello, lovely people. Let's make some art together. I'm turning this cute ceramic mug into a Totoro-themed art piece, inspired by one of Hayao Miyazaki's most beloved characters. You can see the Totoro drawing I used as reference at the top of the screen. First, I'm coloring my polymer clay using soft pastel chalks. Let's mix a nice gray tone, Totoro's signature color, and get started. Now it's time to shape Totoro's body. As I sculpt the gray clay, I'm making sure it fits the curve of the mug nicely. I'm forming an oval-shaped body and gently pressing it onto the ceramic surface. I'm using a fine sculpting knife to trace the silhouette of Totoro. After defining the outline, I carefully remove the excess clay around the edges. When working with polymer clay, it's important to treat each part separately. For Totoro's belly, I'm using a different color of clay. This adds depth to the figure and enhances his adorable look. I've slightly deepened the area where Totoro's eyes will go. Now I'm placing his eyes using white polymer clay, fitting them into those spots. These little details instantly bring the character to life. And now, I'm adding his pupils using black polymer clay. The moment they're in place, Totoro's expression comes to life. And it's done. I'm adding the tiny triangle patterns to Totoro's belly. A small touch that completes his familiar silhouette. And here's a quick note about polymer clay. You don't need a ceramic kiln. You can bake it right at home in a regular oven. It's super versatile, perfect for jewelry, miniatures, home decor, and more. Now I'm working on Totoro's ears. To make them sturdier, I used thin wire as an inner support inside the clay. I bent the wire into two small ear-shaped frames and sculpted the ears directly onto them. I'm refining the ear shapes using a craft knife, defining the form and smoothing out the edges. Here's a little tip. If you prefer, you can sculpt the ears separately on top of the wire and then attach them to Totoro's head. Go with whatever feels easiest for you.
Now we've arrived at the most fun part. I'm making Totoro's iconic leaf umbrella, the one he holds to stay dry in the rain. Since the clay is a bit stiff, I'm adding just a drop or two of clay softener. After kneading, it becomes smooth and easy to work with. I went out to my garden and picked a real leaf that fits. It's a pepper leaf. You can use any leaf you like, as long as it's the right size for your figure. I rolled the clay into a flat shape matching the size of the leaf. Then I created a wireframe to support the structure and help it stay firmly in place on the mug. The clay is ready. Now I'm pressing the real leaf onto the surface to transfer its texture. Once the veins are nicely imprinted, I use a craft knife to carefully cut out the shape. The leaf is ready, but before placing it, there's one tiny and adorable detail we can't forget. Totoro's little leaves on top of his head. I've made those too. Now I gently press the stem of the big leaf onto the mug so it stays in place during baking. Thanks to the wire inside, I can softly bend the leaf into the shape I want. Now I'm making the little red charm Totoro is holding. If you look closely, there's a Chinese character on it. This symbol represents good luck, abundance, and prosperity. I'm shaping it from red polymer clay and attaching it to Totoro's hand. It's finally time to bake. I'm placing Totoro in the oven at 110 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes. After baking, the figure will be fully hardened and ready to use. You can also apply a varnish if you want a glossy finish, but in this piece, I prefer a matte look, so I'm skipping the varnish. If you have any questions, ideas, or tips about polymer clay, feel free to share them in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. On this page, every material becomes a part of art. See you next time!